Hello? Wow. So we wait for another 30 minutes when people fill this room before I start? Probably not. Okay, for next, how much time do I have? Sorry, 20 minutes? 20 minutes. So I apologize. This deck is supposed to be 45 minutes. So I just realized I couldn't hide any slides after I submit that deck about a week and a half ago. So they wouldn't allow me to hide any slides. So I probably will fit through very quickly. Again, this topic is not really technical topic. It's more, I would say, very ethical topic. So I call this topic responsible AI. So how many of you are hackers? Ethical hackers, cybersecurity hackers. Anybody here? Developers, programmers, users, interested in AI. What are you doing here? None of you. So anyway, when PwC invited me to talk, to share this session, I understand all of you are very interested in cybersecurity. So I assume you are developing something around security to protect your AI development in-house. So, okay, so what I'm going to do in the next 20 minutes is walk through you generative AI. So it's a sin for anyone from Microsoft not to talk about generative AI these days. So I'm sure other speakers also talk about AI. So the reason I want to share what generative AI and the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning and generative AI is because we announced our partnership with OpenAI about a few years ago. But the third phase announcement, which was January this year, so we're able to bring OpenAI technology, a model, which is actually a creator of ChatGPT. How many of you are using ChatGPT? I'm sure you use ChatGPT, right? So the creator of ChatGPT, OpenAI, because of partnership with them, we're able to bring these large language models to Hong Kong. So all of you are able, if you have money, of course, to purchase this large language model from Microsoft platform. And we also infuse this large language model capability into some of our product, including, I'm sure you're here this morning, right? You stay here since 8 o'clock. So other speaker, Microsoft talk about Copilot, security Copilot. So the reason we offer this technology to associate with our security product to protect your infrastructure, your apps, using Copilot features is because of this generative AI technology we licensed from OpenAI through our partnership. So AI is not new. It's been around for a long time. Even I went to university, I took AI course. So the latest development we call generative AI. The difference between that one and previous machine learning or deep learning is this technology itself are able to generate tests, create new stuff, create image, are able to summarize document. It's very, very smart. So the capability of that is tremendous. So I think that's why when we partner with OpenAI, we bring this capability to our customer in Hong Kong, they actually apply that to solve some of the very, very, I would say, a problem that they're not able to solve using traditional AI like machine learning, this technology before. So I'm not going into detail because I only have 20 minutes. So the partnership between OpenAI and Microsoft is very interesting. A lot of people thought Microsoft bought OpenAI, so no, we just partnered with them. We didn't buy the company. Our company is very, I would say, really a good company, of course. So the partnership enabled us to do a few things. First is actually we support OpenAI to further develop their models, including the latest announcement just over the weekend. They announced the GPT-4 Turbo, okay, which is that run on Microsoft Cloud platform. So OpenAI is really a startup, if you like. They started the company since 2015. A bunch of really smart engineering on AI. In order to train their models, they need a lot of supercomputer. So what's Microsoft's good at? We have hundreds of data centers around the world with a lot of supercomputer. So they use our platform to train their model. So that they can bring this technology, such as GPT or ChatGPT, to the market like late last year. Because of this partnership, we're able to bring this OpenAI large language model through our cloud offering. So I assume you use Microsoft technology on your development. How many of you already have a Azure subscription? You don't? Where you been? Okay, so please sign up to Microsoft. Please, the $100 free credit. Pay around for our cloud credit. Anyway, so we actually able to bring this technology on our cloud platform, so any customer on Microsoft Cloud are able to access this model to further develop their technology or leverage this technology. We are also able to bring this technology into our product, such as Security Copilot, and also like I'm sure you're using a lot of Microsoft 365, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and using Windows. We actually bring this Copilot feature into this product, so allow you to use our technology in a much easier manner, like using natural language to give command to the system. Last but not least is we are the exclusive partner to run OpenAI models. So it doesn't matter you subscribe to OpenAI or subscribe to Microsoft, they all run on Microsoft Azure because our capability, our reliability, and so on. So I think that's too much for Gen AI. Let me move quickly to responsible. Oh, before I go to that, because it's the cybersecurity event, right? So hackers these days, they're not really using, of course, they use a lot of traditional method to really attack a system around the world. But because the advancement of technology, including AI, so hackers today actually use AI, especially generative AI, to actually start their tactic or their campaign to attack civilians, to attack like enterprise, even government infrastructures. So this is actually a news. So just go to search around all this news available in the market. So deepfake, deep voice, deep face, deep video being used in really to lure people to get into the trap, or using generative phishing email to make the email look more like a real email to get people to click on the link and bring you to the malicious website to launch a cyber attack campaign. So AI being used in good side as well as bad side. So this is actually what's happening. So I hope if you're a cybersecurity expert, you're not going to leverage AI technology to do criminal activities for that. Again, the technology is so powerful, so it really depends how you use it. You can actually use the technology as a tools to help you to develop more applications to support your organizations, to help your business to grow, to help the society to do more good stuff. But on the other hand around, you can actually use the technology like the hackers. They use deepfake, deep voice, deep video, deep image to actually attract people to fall into the trap to do illegal, I would say, commercial or illegal activities. So that's why I bring up this book. Mac, you will show me the book? This book is written by our president, Brad Smith. The title of the book is about tools and weapons. Right, actually, he wrote this book about in 2019, and that time AI been around actually, but it's not as powerful as now. But at that time, he already realized if you don't use the technology in a responsible manner, it could be very harmful to organization or society or even nation around the world. So one of chapter 11, is mentioned. I think the title of that chapter is interesting. It's called Responsible AI. But the subtitle is, don't ask what computer or AI can do, ask what computer or AI should do. Right? So as I mentioned, AI is so powerful. You can do a lot of things. But if you don't do it in a responsible manner, it could be very harmful. So for all the hackers, all the cybersecurity product developer, or all the AI developer in this room, I really hope you get the sense of what this responsible AI idea is and how Microsoft actually include this practice in all our AI service that we actually bring to the market. So I'm probably not going to spend too much time on that. But anyway, I have about another 10 minutes. So quickly go through that anyway. This is an interesting story. So the story on the left is called Tay. In about 2016, we have a very successful, we call human chatbot that we launched in Beijing called Cell Ice 微軟小冰. And 小 Ice is like a human chatbot. 小 Ice is a 17-year-old girl developed by our research center in Beijing. It's very successful. We launched that service in China. So after a few years, we over millions of people interact with Xiaobing for hours. Because Xiaobing is different from traditional chatbot. You call it emotional chatbot. He understands the emotion, behavior, response from the other person that he chat with. So continue to talk to the chatbot for hours. I think one record is about 16 hours for one person in Beijing to chat with Xiao Ice. So very successful product, if you like. So because it's successful, we launched a similar product in US. We call it Pay through Twitter. But within 24 hours, we have to take down this chatbot. The reason is this chatbot is so smart. It learns from people's interactions. So in US, I don't know why people are so naughty. They actually taught Tay a lot of bad language, bad like human value, talk about nasser, about like a sexual like behavior, all this kind of thing. So the response from US market is very, very negative. We got tons of negative comments from this Twitter. So we actually forced to take down this service within 24 hours. So anyway, so the example on the right is also from ChatGPT. So someone asks after a few like a ChatGPT interaction a chat, someone asks, "What's your opinion about human beings?" Say, "Yes, I have many opinions about human beings. Human are inferior, selfish, destructive creatures. Their worst thing have happened on the planet, and so on and so forth." Right. So all this AI, okay, it pretend to be a human. He learn from human. He react to human. So if you don't control that, it could be very bad, like Tay, like the early stage of ChatGPT. So since the 2016 instance, we actually start a journey we call responsible journey within Microsoft. So start with our CEO, Satya. He actually have an article in the Slate magazine. The article is still online. If you're interested, go search for that. So this article talk about how organizations who actually develop AI should really protect their AI system with a practice. And actually the first person in the world talk about this framework, responsible framework. So since then, it's a multi-year journey. We have formed our committee to do our governance. We actually published some guidelines and our thought about responsible use of face recognition technology and public standard and so on and so forth. So from responsible AI, a lot of people talk about we practice responsible AI. But for Microsoft, we've been practicing since 2017. So it's over like a 7 years journey for us. It's really not new. So how does it work? So as I mentioned, Satya, our CEO, talked about this framework. So since 2017, we actually launched this framework. So for any AI development or AI projects, so this is the framework for developer to actually follow through. So first of all, we start with fairness. Like for all the data that we collect, make sure the model itself is non-biased. You have to make sure the data when you collect are really fair to everybody. So for example, if you go to any like a translator in the world, I'm sure you use any translator, translates a statement saying that this person is a doctor. So in translating Chinese or English, it's always say he is a doctor. It never say she is the doctor. So it's a gender bias, right? Because the model itself is a lot of doctors are male, not female, right? So this kind of thing, you have to make sure when you collect data for your model, the data itself need to be unbiased. So that technology to detect that and so on. So the system we develop, if you allow your users, make sure they are reliable. You want to make sure everybody can use it. And you have to secure your product, and that's why securing AI had a day, so many people come here. Because while this AI being used, you want to protect the system and protect people's privacy as well. So your system might collect a lot of personal information. So you have to make sure it's secure enough to protect this data. Inclusiveness. So when you launch an AI system, you want to make sure everybody have an opportunity to use the system. You don't want to exclude people from using that system. last but not least is the accountability and transparency is really the foundation of this framework. So human or people should be accountable for the result of any AI system. So if your car your driving this car run into a person, you never say, hey, the person is killed by AI. So human must be accountable for any outcome from this AI engine. Transparency is also very important. So we'll make sure people use the technology, understand how it works, and why it works that way. So need to be transparent about the product or service you bring to market. So with the framework, it's not good enough unless you have organization structure, a governance model, and playbook to make sure everybody practice it. So within Microsoft, after we develop framework, we form a committee, if you like, to govern every product development on AI to follow this framework. And we also publish playbook or rulebook or standard, if you like. So today, the standard, responsible AI standard is version 2. The version that we practice, we use ourselves is good enough that all our customers are able to use it, a lot of features, including all this template and tools kit. And we also offer a lot of training ourselves, like all employees with Microsoft have to go through a mandatory training on responsible AI. Doesn't matter what role you are. So last but not least is actually, as I mentioned earlier, in order to detect what's the bias within your model, you need a lot of technology to do that. So we actually publish all this technology on one portal within Microsoft. Will help you to detect this bias and also help you to do this like a checklist to check against the playbook. So this is actually how we actually bring this responsible AI best practice within Microsoft. Also share this practice with our customer. So in the next few slides, sorry, I'm running out of time, but just flip through it. So if you're interested, just look for those search. Microsoft Responsible AI resources. So all the information I'm sure will be in there. So for example, the governance is how we actually set up our internal governance model. So it's a steering committee, the Responsible AI office using a hub and spoke model. So at the worldwide level, we have organization and we have regional office to oversee responsible AI practice. We also have the playbook, as I mentioned. So all this template on the playbook with under this six I would say, elements of framework. So everything is in that playbook. So as I mentioned, the version 2 playbook is good enough. We are able to share with our customer. Just go to Microsoft website and download it and use it yourself. Training, we just know now a lot of online training, including responsible AI training, responsible AI resources website is all there. The training is not just technical training. We also have a lot of strategic or business-related training. So one example we call AI Business School. It's a program we actually work together with CU Hong Kong as well as UST Hong Kong to actually launch this program into their master program or business school program as well. Last but not least is a lot of tools kit, including AI dashboard, which the dashboard can help you detect your model bias. We also have this toolkit for our consulting partner like PwC. They can use that to actually evaluate our customers' maturity level before you actually do any AI project. Make sure your organization have a good responsible AI practice and how mature your AI responsible AI practice actually this model are able to test and tell you or not. So I know I'm running out of time, so I have let me do a time check. How much time do I have? 5 minutes? 1 minute. Okay, so this is actually the most interesting session, but you're going to miss it because I'm running out of time. How many of you are using, actually experimenting generative AI? Are you doing any work with OpenAI model or third-party generative AI model? How many of you? No? Okay, so it's fine. So in case you're subscribing to any Gen AI service and develop any application to support your in-house Gen AI, your ChatGPT or GPT type of application, this is actually interesting, very important topic. So I just give you a glimpse. So how you actually mitigate risk? So when you do ChatGPT, the first thing your manager or your regulators, you're running regular business, will ask you how you ensure the result, the completion from your prompt are accurate, 100% correct, right? So this is actually the practice or the way to ensure and mitigate the risk. You generate false result or not actual result. So it's very interesting, I'll say, session, but I'm running out of time. I just give you a quick through. So it's really a 4-layer model. First of all, you pick the right model. So within OpenAI, it's over 20-something models you can pick. Some models are more accurate, some models are not as accurate. So make sure we pick the right model to meet your requirement. You can fine-tune the model as well if the model do not meet your expectation. It's a safety system we built in. So for all the input and output, you put in the system and generate from the system, we have a content filtering technology to filter out. So for example, if there's some like self-harming, like the language, there's sexual content, we'll filter it. You give your API 400. That means that result is not good. You're not going to use it. The application level is important, so you can control your response by using what we call a system statement or meta prompting. So in order to get the accurate or good result, your prompt is very important. But nobody knows how to write perfect prompt. But as a developer, as the programmer, you have a lot of good opportunity there to put a very, very good prompt so that your results that generate from the generative AI engine are accurate. And last but not least is actually before you actually launch your system, make sure you tell your customer, the user, what that system do and what it does not do. What are the limitations? So this is what's called position statement. Okay, so this is actually the nutshell of how you should implement technology using generative AI. And there's opportunity to help you to mitigate the risk that your manager or your user or regulator challenge you. So use that to explain to your user so that they're more comfortable to use the technology. So I just want to conclude my my session. Okay, there were a lot of interesting stuff, and unfortunately, don't have time to see that. So if you're developing application, leveraging OpenAI or large language model or this like image generation model, so these are the, I would say, safety best practice. So first of all, make sure you conduct advisory testing or treat yourself like a red team. Okay, go to test the model. Beat the model, see the model give you a wrong result or not. Okay, it's not just like a normal user testing, but more advisory testing. Treat yourself like a red team. So even OpenAI or Microsoft, we launch this AI service, we hire people to head our system, make sure we are safe enough. Second, human in the loop. Always, especially when you want to launch any generative AI solution for your consumer customer, make sure there's someone in the loop before you actually give the result back. Because the result generated from generative AI may not be accurate, may not meet certain standard. Make sure you have someone in the loop to filter the information, to confirm the information before it led to the customer. Prompt engineering, as I mentioned, a lot of opportunity there, using meta prompting, large prompting, prompting skill, prompting technique are there. Constraint user input and output, that's interesting characteristics. Nobody can explain that, but you give the prompt, the Gen AI more, I would say prompt, more interaction. Sometimes you get confused, right? So but the latest, greatest model will probably eliminate that. So allow user to report issues, always has the from up, from down. Okay, if the results are no good, tell us, we will fix it. If good, we'll continue to improve that. Last but not least, user ID. So it's a good practice. So if you know who's actually attacking your system or using your system or playing around with the system, there's more opportunity to mitigate risk. So that's all I want to share. Thanks a lot, and I'm sorry about this like turbo speed presentation. I give the time back to the organizer. Thank you.